Hey everyone, welcome to the first episodes of the EIHL Panthers. We've got Zak, Christoph, and David here.
Hello.
These two of them here, or three of them actually, all three of them are very they're long time fans compared to myself, who has only been here for maybe a year, just over a year, and still learning. So you got the new, or the concept of new fans, and then you've got all the old fans here to support everything. I thought just to start off with, we could go over the preseason. Just a quick repeat over there, see how the games went, and see all your opinions on that. If anyone wanted to jump in, who's got the first thing to say?
Um, pretty solid pre-season, really. I mean, players arriving in dribs and drabs, so you get a bit of a showcase on the players as they arrive. Thought we did Concordia started a bit sluggish, but to say we were a full line down, I think we did very well to come back in that game, and it just showed that it was good to see that Panthers spark of scoring in bunches come back, followers from last season into this one. Then moving into who was it after that? Was it was it Amiens after Concordia?
Yeah.
What a performance that was! I mean, I think Amiens gave us a bit too much space to work our creativity, but it really showed a lot of the talent in this roster. Showed a lot of what they can do.
I mean, yeah, I think we were all filled with a sense of, oh God, this is going to be the season. This is going to be it coming into the preseason. And that third line of Hembrandt, Lamos, and Armour was just phenomenal up and down the preseason. I think preseason was really good in just showcasing talent and the offensive talent, not just of the forwards but the defensemen as well. God, the first I remember hearing the crack of David Noel's first shots, and I was like, Jesus Christ! I hope none of them ever come anywhere near me because I think we'll all die.
I don't think we've had anyone with that kind of accurate, hard shot since Corey was on the ice. It's been a long time since I've seen a Panther with that kind of shot.
It's phenomenal. I love it. It's like a gunshot going. It's like a gunshot going off in the arena. It's phenomenal. But that I think the preseason was great. I know Danny in his kind of stuff afterwards, obviously always going to say there's more to learn, there's more to do. But there was a lot of positives across the lines through preseason. The game against Cardiff, maybe less so. I think both teams had a point to prove in that game. I think Cardiff wanted to prove that. I think everyone had said they were lacking scoring ability, so they came out to prove that. And everyone said about us that we lacked toughness. And I think we wanted to prove that we could stand up to toughness, and we had that element in ourselves as well. But I think it was a pretty successful preseason, to be honest with you. A good and then a fun preseason, a very, very fun preseason.
Oh, definitely fun. I think with that Cardiff game, it just resolved to be quite a defensive battle. Cardiff's first goal, I believe it was they took a deflection off of one of our guys, went in, and then after that, Cardiff did really well to batten down the hatches, and we struggled to get on through. But they're a very experienced bunch, so they just don't. They're very good at holding that defence.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think I didn't watch too much of the pre-season. I had stuff going on outside or in life. From what I heard and saw, there's definitely areas to grow, stuff to gel, people to get on with. The lines are literally, they're just, I don't know how long they had to train with each other, but they are brand new. They've had, what, was it 5 pre-season games? And now 2?
Yeah.
So they've had 7 games together. To start basically afresh because we had so many new people come in, so I think it's going to be potentially a rocky start until they start gelling, and then once they've gelled, then I think this happened last season as well. We had a rocky start at the beginning because it was the teething issues between everybody and people learning how other people play, but as soon as they grasped that it was leaps and bounds.
And some of the players have started their journey a bit later as well. Harris, Martin, you arriving later on in the pre-season. We've not been able to get our captain on the ice yet. That'll be a major gelling point, I think, for the whole team. He's a massive glue guy. Is Alfaro? I think he'll really, as well as solidifying that line too. I think he'll really solidify the team as a whole.
100%. We are missing Alfaro right now. Missing him desperately. But obviously, you don't want to rush that. I think I already had shoulder surgery in the summer, and it's like shoulder surgeries are notoriously difficult because if the surgery fails and if it's a dislocation and stuff like that, it could be a lot of trouble if they don't give him the time to rehab. So I think we'd rather miss him at the start than lose him later on down the line to a same injury. Yeah,
no, I completely agree, and it's as well from a non-selfish fan angle. It's the longevity of his career as well. He's got to look out for. I mean, he played through injury. Yeah, he played through injury for us last season, so we kind of have to give him that leeway. He's proved what he is as a player. Let's give him the time.
But on the same thing, please, Alfie, come back soon. We need you.
Behind the team. Okay, then.
Yeah. Do we start talking about the two games that we all don't want to talk about?
No, never. No, we didn't happen.
So the season starts next week.
Yeah. We've had literally 2 preseason games.
Extended preseason.
Yeah. I like that we're all in agreement that the preseason went really well. There were good areas. There was obviously areas that need improving. We know that. I just want to point out before we move on to the season games, the last 2 games. So I'll try and delay this as much as possible. Our face-offs last season were awful. Yeah, they were awful, and now they have focused so much on their face-off. We're winning. Oh God, we won nearly all the face-offs. I think in the most recent games, our face-offs have got so much stronger, which is going to create so many more opportunities. From pointing out.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, from that face-off win, you're instantly in possession of the puck. You can start to work to create a goal or get it out of your zone. It's Pearson, Lemos especially. Their face-off percentages have been through the roof, really. Night and day from last season, as you say.
Pearson was 100% on face-offs yesterday, so that's a good stat to have.
Jesus.
Absolutely, and Harris was. I think it was Harris who was starting on face-offs, not doing quite so well, and then Armour took a few at the end, and I think he ended off quite solidly with the wins as well.
Yeah, having said that, Marson, you can place out that our depth through the centre line, especially when Alfaro comes back, is crazy. We have so many people, and Tim Doherty doesn't have to take as many. I think Timmy was taking a lot of the last year on the power play. Was taking a lot of face-offs and stuff like that. And I think now we've got so much kind of talent through the centre. We don't necessarily need him to do that. We can have him focusing on more driving the net and being in positions to score, hopefully. Which he has been, actually. To be fair, he scored decently in pre-season and he scored against Guildford as well. So,
So if we move on to... Yeah, if we finally move on to the games that we've had in the season, I think the first one was against
Cardiff, home on Saturday.
Cardiff, yeah, and we started off well. What did we went up? Was it 3 or 2 we scored before they even scored?
We went 3-1 up.
No, they scored first. They scored the
difference
greasiest goal ever. Yeah.
But despite that goal, I think you're right in what you say. I think we did start well. I think we came out on, despite the score, we were the better team in that first period. The second period, we were by far the better team. And then I think it's fair if you take it. I think it's fairer to us if you take it period by period. We had 2 very solid periods on Saturday, followed by that abysmal period. But it was just Cardiff turned the game on their head. They couldn't play us at our game. We were matching physicality. So then they quite rightly changed the game after Tomo's timeout. He absolutely air blasted the team. You could see him expletives coming out of him on the bench, and he just got the team playing the brand of hockey he wanted them to play, and that won the game for them. It was a real battle of the coaches, I think.
And I'll say this, Cardiff, for all of, I think a lot of people online was putting them, like when they were doing their rankings, were saying Cardiff will come fourth. Tomo's style of hockey, he's built a team that plays it, and they play it damn well. Whether you like it or not, whether you like that physicality, like the kind of bench brawl kind of thing that's happened twice, and that happened in preseason, and it's happened in this one. They play it really, really well, and they've shown they can score. Did you see? And maybe I'm skipping slightly ahead in the game, but I was sat in block 15, and Estes scored their 6th goal. And when he came past our bench, he just stared everyone down. He stared everyone down. And obviously, as a Panthers fan, I'm like, I hate this guy. But as just a hockey fan as well, I was like, God damn, I love that guy. I was just put the fear into guys. You know what I mean? And it was just, I think it was like stepping away from being a Panthers fan just for 1 second. I thought that was incredible.
Since he was signed in the summer, Estes has been one of mine to watch this season. He's just so skillful, so fast. But the rest of that line, I assume it's their line 3, the Lacroix line. They kind of give space for skillful players like him, Martin McDonald, to work. You know, in other teams they might be a bit put off trying certain things, but when they've got a line 3 like that, they've got the space to work their creativity.
100%. Beat people up, like if you can physically beat people up with lines like that, it does open up. And if you get the line changes are so important. I think some people think that they're just, someone's tired, they come off, but there's a lot I think that also goes into it. Obviously, you do have that time frame of a minute, like they're generally like 45 seconds, a minute and a half for the forwards. If you get those changes right and you get a fresh set of legs on before the other team can change, and you've just beaten them up with your third line for a minute, it gives you a huge advantage against tired legs. And they did it well. They did it phenomenally well.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not a team that goes down lightly, Cardiff. Although it is normally, it's normal where if it's raining in Nottingham, Cardiff never win. But they broke it. So we're gonna have to figure out something else to say now.
It had to happen. I'm almost glad it happened at the start.
Yeah, which is fine. I'd much prefer us to get all our losses out at the start, and then we make up for it in the later periods.
And
it's happened in the Challenge Cup.
Yeah, and the Challenge Cup. Yeah, which I still think I still. Being new still, to me, it's still quite a big thing because it's a cup. It's another cup that we would. I got quite excited when we won the 11th cup. A cup that meant nothing, but it was just another cup where just to see your team win that is like, yeah, you're all bad compared to my team.
I do. I have a lot of respect for the Challenge Cup. I think as a Panthers fan, historically, we've had a lot of success with it. I think the current cup, we won the old cup. We won it 6 years in a row, and then we got to keep the old cup, and we commissioned the current cup. So I think as a Panthers fan, you do have that respect for a lot of fans around the league will say it's a Mickey Mouse Cup, and we should do a little bit more with it. We should change the setup of the cup, but it's a cup to win, and I want to be in it.
I think people hate the format. Not necessarily the cup. People say Mickey Mouse Cup, and I kind of dislike that because the cup. So if the cup doesn't mean anything, then the treble means nothing. Then you know what I mean? Like you devalue your own kind of victories of certain things. But the cup's been devalued because I think it's just been not looked after enough, and we do need something needs to be done to the cup to make it a little bit more refreshing, because I think it is refreshing to have that the first half of the season up till Christmas. You have that, we've got the Challenge Cup here, and then you have your Christmas period, and then after that in January it's the race to the league title and to the playoffs and stuff like that. It's a nice split up of the kind of year of hockey. So we do need to do, the league does need to do more with the Challenge Cup and not have it be kind of seen as a Mickey Mouse Cup.
I think if we did it from like an FA style, where you do away the group stage, you've got random draws, and then you work. You've got your two legs, or if you want a final that's over one leg, then we need to find a neutral venue for it. Is having it at someone's home that does cheapen it. I think it's been in Belfast are pretty much. I mean, who knows what happens this season? But Belfast are pretty much guaranteed to come out on top of their group with a strong win percentage, and they're pretty much guaranteed home ice advantage. So that does cheapen it. That definitely needs resolving.
I think people might say the same about playoffs for us, but
I don't mind about that. Funnily enough,
yeah, I'm less bothered by that. But yeah, I think we need to do a lot, and we're not as much as these two losses sting. There are still like you say with the breaking down the periods. We've had 2 bad periods and they've cost us the games, but we have had 3 very solid periods, 1 phenomenal period. We know we can play good hockey. We know we've got talented players. I think I'm not worried yet, because I think it's easy to go, oh, that's it, it's over. We've still got a lot of hockey in the Challenge Cup to play. There's still a lot of hockey left in the season to play. We have a very, very, very talented squad, a very offensively talented squad. I'm 100% sure it will turn around and it will come. We've seen it in pre-season. We know what the players can do. It's a rocky start. Like we said, we'd rather have the rocky start at the start than towards the end when maybe the league's on the line. So it's sad, and there's a lot of work to be done. And I'm sure Danny Stewart's, kicking 10 bells of crap out of him this week in training, but it might be a blessing in disguise, maybe, should we say.
You can learn a lot more from your failures than your successes, and the issue is that you do take those lessons on board and go from there. So we'll see how they bounce back.
And as we saw from last season as well, Adam Berg got shifted out of the lineup, and we brought in Foss, and that changed everything up for us. Yeah. I know Foss was coming in anyway, but I don't think Danny's going to be. It's not going to take anything personal, and he'll just make the moves he needs to make to do the right thing. And if that means a player gets moved on, as unfortunate as it is, I don't want to see anyone get moved on. I like our team. If it needs to happen, it needs to happen, and it worked last season. So, there's still time.
Yeah, I don't think I can remember a season where we finished the season with the same crop of players as we started it. So yeah,
it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, well, I mean, when I started to follow, it was February last year, and by September there was like 3 or 4 players that were in that game in February, but weren't in November or September. So I understood that in hockey it's quite common just to replace players.
Don't get too attached. Never get too attached to players.
I got attached to it was Anthony Luciani, number 88. We had I got attached to him, and then he was gone, and I was like, okay, what? Yeah, find someone else. Then it was Bednard, and he's gone.
Oh, don't! I miss Bednard. I miss Bednard so much.
Yeah,
so sad.
I was just looking at the stats for the first game, the Cardiff game. And just to point out, just to re-emphasise the whole face-off, we won 34 face-offs and compared to their 25. Last season, that would have been 12 to 60 or something. We would have lost all of them. Saves. So it was. Who was it in goal? It was
Grande.
Okay. Yeah, saves. We had 82% saves, so 28 saves compared to the 18. So we were making the saves, we were doing the power plays. Like you said, I think it was just down to.
It was the last 10 minutes. It was just like the last 10 minutes we just fell apart a bit. It's just like it's just what happens sometimes. They'll score 1 goal and then 2 or 3 go in, and you just can't stand the lead.
Yeah.
Usually we're on the positive side of that, but it can cascade.
100%. I think that Timmy penalty. I think there was a lot of events that happened towards like the end of the second, a little bit, and then into the start of the third, where they ramped up the pressure, and we were getting called for penalty. Like Timmy got the 4-minute penalty, which gave them another goal back, and then there was that brawl, and they seem to get energized by that physicality as well, and that seems to just ramp it up a notch more and a notch more, and it just seemed to build until that last 10 minutes where it was just like, I think our guys were looking around like, what can we do? I don't know if that's true, but I think they were maybe looking around going, what can we do here? Because it was just all Cardiff, Cardiff, and every pass seemed to just be slightly off. Every shot attempt was blocked, and they were breaking away and breaking out from it. It was like, I think it, like I said, cascade effect, just complete cascade effect, and they were just on top of us.
I think that's where your captain comes into it, puts the game on the shoulders and tries to turn it around a little bit. So again, it's that Alfaro-shaped hole. I think
he can do it.
A lot. Absolutely. Just to go back to that, to when you say the Timmy penalty, that was the accidental high stick on Brandt.
Yeah, high stick on Brandt. Yeah,
I'm not putting down Brandt at all, because he did phenomenal. It was phenomenal work, gamesmanship from him in this, but he was looking for that contact on the stick. You could 100%. See Timmy was trying to get his stick around to get to the puck, and Brandt was just following it. As soon as he felt the contact, I believe contact was on the side of his face, he went down, holding his face, and then ran immediately out to the locker room. I mean, the referees can't inspect him for blood, they can't inspect him for injury or teeth missing. When he comes back, he can say whatever he wants, and he came back as soon as the 4-minute was called. I'm not putting him down. That's his game, and he did it very well. And that's what that was the turning point.
I think for Riley Brandt, if Riley Brandt scored no goals and got no assists but did all that stuff, Cardiff would be very, very happy. That's what they want from him, and that's what he does well. Again, love him or hate him. I think everyone hates him if you're not a Cardiff fan, but
And I think Russell had him on a bit of a leash last season, but Tomo seems more willing to let them go out and do their thing.
And it's paying off for him so far.
So going on to the next one, we'll probably make this one quite quick.
The less said, the better.
Yeah. Guildford against Panthers. It was 5-2 to Guildford. It was 5-0, I believe, in the first period.
5-1. Timmy got one.
3-1 and then went 5-1.
Yeah, I got 5-1 in the first period. And a positive, they didn't manage to score another one for in the last two periods. Were they trying to? Maybe not. Did they think
I don't think they were. In the third, I don't think they were.
No. But I was going to go talk about the saves and the save percentage and stuff, but they haven't got the stats up. They have got all the other stats, but they don't have save or save percentage.
I know they was 5 off 9 in the first period, which was a bit iffy. Because I think Carl was 45. After the first period, Carl was on 45%. Because they scored 5 off 9. So that was a bit of a concern to me at the start of the game.
Yeah.
I think if you look at shot efficiency, so Guildford's shot efficiency was 13.89%. So that kind of gives you, that'll make him 86%. I'm not very good at maths. So yeah, I mean, similar to Grande in the Cardiff game, at least.
Yeah.
But I don't think we can. I mean, you've got two netminders who we've seen them both in action before. We know what they can do, and they both had statistically poor nights, 2 nights in a row. With the same team in front of them, we can't put it all on the netminders. I think there was a lot of defensive errors, just not clearing the puck when it bounced off into the slot. Just not working terribly hard in front of him. I think if you watch the Guildford highlights, there was a lot of standing still from our defence and back checkers. It just allowed them to get on the puck. Just more urgency from them.
Yeah.
The one thing I do want to say, the one thing I want to say about that game is a lot of stuff will be said and is said about Chase Pearson. But in a 5-2 loss, he was a 0. He plays on the penalty kill, the power play, all of it. Right. He was a 0, plus minus a 0, which is crazy. Like, that's really good for a 5-2 loss where he's on a lot.
That game, so
yeah. So that just Chase's caliber I think he showed his caliber in that game. He deserved man of the match. I think he was phenomenal. And I think we were saying in the chat how, because he's not scoring, he's not putting a huge amount. I mean, he's putting points up, but he's not scoring. People are going to say stuff, but when you watch the games, you see his quality. You see what he brings to the team, and he is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I think that top line piece, Chase, Fossier, and Doherty, it's projected to be one of the better line ones in the league, and I think that gets a lot of attention on them from the opposition defenders. You want to match them up with your line one defense, and that should bring the other lines a bit of an advantage. That if you're concentrating on this line one, your line two, your line three aren't getting as much attention when they come out. Your line three might be up against their line three D, for example, and gives them an opportunity to crack on. But we're just not seeing that secondary scoring, I don't think.
And we've got it. We've got scorers. We've got a lot of good scorers across the lines. For my money, it has to start. The scoring has to come. And it's not like we've not scored. We've scored 6 goals across 5 goals across the 2 games. I mean, it's not a crazy amount of goals, but we can score. We can do it.
We shouldn't line pre-season, because that third line pre-season was firing every week. Like Ollie's line and the second line, and the second and the third line had all the goals in pre-season. So it's just that they tail off a bit, and no one else is really doing much. I think they've just got to focus on that line and just cut us out a bit now.
Just another positive to bring out. Of those 5 goals we've scored this weekend, 2 of them came directly from defensemen. And I don't think, and last season, I think we were seeing Mistletoe up before any of our D scored. That's a real positive. Scoring depth from the D as well.
100%. The defensively against Guildford and maybe against Cardiff as well, slightly let down by the defense there. Maybe play it playing slightly too wide. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe a lack of physicality. You're not clearing out, not clearing pucks out. There's a lot of little things. I think we can clear them up. I think they'll be cleared up. They are clearly good defensemen, but offensively, our defensemen have been phenomenal.
I mean, the one thing
Noel, Zak, Spencer.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing we did yesterday was for the second period we changed the D pairings around and we looked a lot more solid. Where
what did the D pairings change around to?
From the first game, and then the second game we sort of changed it for the second period, and we looked a lot better. So
what were the pairings?
I can't remember what we started off with, but I know we swapped we basically swapped everyone around, and it did look a lot better for the rest of the game.
Because I mean, I guess I guess this is a horrible question. I do like Tetlow, but who do we put with Tetlow? Because I know they put Hildeman with him, because Hildeman's quite a quick skater,
to back Tetlow up, he was on a +1 on Saturday, which I've noticed. It was him and Spencer as only positive players on Saturday, so I thought they had a decent game. So, but it's just so you put with him, because if you put a defensive-minded player with him that covers him, he's brilliant for you. He can do a good job. It's just you've got to find the right person to go with him.
I do think Hildeman's that guy, to be honest. He, as you say, he's a quick skater. He's got physicality to his game, but his bias on the blue line, if he receives the puck, he's trying to get it forward to the net. Whereas Buns last season, who was his D partner, he'd try and make a play, he'd try and make a run, and if that goes wrong, Tetlow just hasn't got the legs to get back. So I do think that bias on the blue line is going to benefit him.
Definitely. Right, should we stop talking about it now? Because I might cry.
One last point I want to talk about on it is, or two, kind of goes into hand in hand. Last season, I would always mention that we weren't putting out enough shots. In most games, we were finishing with less shots than the opposing team. Always, I think 9 out or 7 out, maybe no, 8. We'll go round number 8 out of 10 times. We had less shots, but it's different this season. Well, this is at the start. I know it's the start and pre-season as well, but it's different. We're putting shots out a lot. We had 60 shots against Guildford, to their 42. Granted, it just didn't go our way, but that's still an improvement. And also, there was always a saying whenever I was in the arena, and every time I sat near someone, they said, "How long do you reckon the Panthers will be here for? First half or first period, second period, and go home on the third, or are we only watching them play for 20 minutes?" The energy levels they were literally 100% all 3 periods. I think give or take a certain couple of players, but the majority of the team was always going for the puck and making plays going for shots, which again, it just needs, like I said, it just needs to gel. Once people know where people are going and where people need to be, those shots will start going in.
100%. The D have been great for that, I think. All the D. Spencer's been firing some absolute missiles, as well as like Noel and Zak's been, creating a lot offensively. And I think it does free up a little bit of space for you, your other guys. And we've got a lot of, like, Chase plays well, Timmy plays well, Ross Armour and Brian, they all play well in front of the net. So when you've got good defensemen who can just keep putting shots on net, and we go for the rebounds and we try and clear up. It's not the sexiest style of hockey, but it works. It's great. And we have got guys like Harris and Diedrich and Marcinu who can do, and Foss as well, who can, put those kind of more sexier plays together and score that way. I think it spreads out the scoring and spreads out the kind of role of scoring as well. I think last year and maybe in years before, it's always been, these are the scorers, these are the guys who set. We're very, very deep in that scoring line. So like you say, they will come. The goals will come, no doubt about it.
Right, to go on to the next kind of topic, I've got a list of topics. I'm skipping some because we're already covering some of them. But this one will be a quick one. Just the standing of the table at the moment, how it stands after the first two games, so the first weekend. So at the top, we've got Cardiff with 4 points, then followed by Steelers with 3 points, then Storm with 3, then Guildford with 2, Coventry with 2, and then us with 0.
Fair play to Storm there. I think a lot of people wrote Storm off before the season. Fair play to him.
And then in the second team, it's Dundee with 4, Giants with 2, Glasgow, Clown with 2, and Fife with 0. We're matching Fife.
Dundee, by the way, on Saturday in Belfast. But
yeah,
no, not that on the cards.
that Dundee squad's got a lot of good players. Like a good offensive team. I think they'll do good things, Dundee. I think they'll make the playoffs this year. 100%. I mean,
they scored 13 in 2 games, so that's some very good going, especially when they played Glasgow and Belfast, who could be up at the season. So
exactly. It's that many goals in 2 games, and it's against Belfast and Clan.
Having said that, Belfast defense is like a leaky cauldron. Ridiculous how bad their defense is at this point.
But what I will say for Belfast and for us as well is I think Keith and Stewart are both similar in that they prefer a defensive orientated system to their game. Defensive systems do take longer to root in and gel. So it might be a reason that both of our teams have kind of got off to a bit of a slow one.
Keep my fingers crossed.
Yeah. All we can do is hope. So yeah, that was a quick one. Then just the upcoming games that we've got coming up. We've got on the 19th, we're playing Manchester. And then we're playing Steelers on the 20th. And then the 27th, we're playing Guildford again. What are your thoughts on the next 2 games, or the next weekend's games? The Storm and Steelers. How do you think they're going to go?
Is the Storm game home or away?
Away.
It's away. Away for Storm, home for the Panthers.
I know we beat them in preseason, but I was quietly impressed with them, how physical they were and how well they played. And God, I can't remember his name. I'm gonna have to look up his name quickly. One of the players for Manchester I thought was brilliant, and he kept them in the game, and he just made so many good moves to the net. I think that's going to be a tough place to go play. Really tough place to go play.
Is it Ouellette?
More than it normally is. Might have been Ouellette. I'll remember when I see him.
Yeah, he's a real Ouellette is. I know a lot of Storm fans that they bang out about him all the time, and it's fair play to him. One thing I will say about Storm though is they have a trip to Glasgow on Wednesday, so they could be a bit tighter. Obviously, it's a long way up there, and they've only got a day's rest.
True.
So that could benefit us, but then they play an extra game, so there might be a bit more chemistry. You never know; it could go either way. That
I'm gonna be optimistic. I'm gonna say we're gonna see a response. And we're gonna see it on Friday, especially. I think the onus is on us. We've had a game there in pre-season. It's a difficult place to go and play your first game in. We won that pre-season game. I think they'd had a shorter pre-season than us, so we'll see how it goes. But at least we haven't got the shock of that small rink and the facilities there that can quite often shock a few players when they go there for the first time.
Yeah.
What do you reckon about the Steelers game? The one that obviously is going to, I think it will be a sellout. I think it probably already is a sellout for the arena.
500 tickets left.
It was like 500 something left earlier. They'll say.
Yeah. So, what do you reckon about that one?
It's going to be another nervy one, and it's another one of those games where I think Alfaro is the missing piece of the puzzle. You need that morale booster, that lead by example, put the game on his shoulders kind of guy. I doubt he'll be back. If he is back, that's great. But it will be interesting to see how we respond in that one. I think it's going to be a tight game. I don't think we're going to be. I think we've learned a lot of lessons from this weekend, and the commit levels there, the energy levels there. The morale was an issue. I think we'll see how that goes on. That'll be a big test on Saturday.
Yeah, it will be, especially first game against. I knew whenever the first Steelers game is, it's always going to be a nervy one for everyone because rivalry there, and it will be a tough game because we haven't had the best of starts, and that might be on the boys on the guys' mind when they go into this game. But I'm hoping they're going to go in there with a clear mind. They're going to forget about these last two games or use it as fuel to go, right, let's show our fans that we can do this, we will do this. And they put in the extra effort. They haven't got, the Steelers don't have Saucepan anymore. They don't have is it Chapini as well? Champini? They don't have him either, do they?
No.
They've lost two good players, or two
Watling, Valorand, Simpson. I think they've all moved on as well.
They've lost a lot of the core, the core for the last couple of years. They've sort of moved on, so it is a bit of a rebuild season for them. So I mean, you never know. They lost in overtime in Cardiff last night, so might be able to see something in that. You don't know.
Yeah. I feel like this is an opportunity for us to capitalise on. If we can get going before they can with their team, I think the momentum will just keep going with us.
I think Friday.
Friday is massive.
Yeah.
If we can get a win on Friday, I think that's going to be a massive positive morale boost for the team, and they'll take that into the Steelers game.
100%.
And they are a tough team. Sheffield, again, like the guys they've brought in, the new guys and the guys they've kept, they've got a good team. They are a team to beat, and they are a team that offensively, I think speed-wise, they maybe edge. I mean, Hembrandt's obviously Hembrandt, but obviously they've got Sykes, who's very, very quick. They're a very, very quick, offensively minded team, and our D-men need to be ready and prepared for it. And if we have the D collapse and stuff like that we've kind of seen, it will be an ugly night, and it won't be good. But we can match them. I know we can match them in it. And I think there's a guy on Twitter, a Steelers fan, who posted like a coverage of every team going in, and I think he made quite a fair assessment of teams, and I think they are big at the back. Like Sheffield's big at the back, and if we can get behind them and have breakouts, if some of our quicker guys, Lamoste and even Ollie, and then obviously Hembrandt can break out, we can get past them, we can score, we can beat them. But I think it's mental. I think it's all mental. We've got the physical stuff. We can score. We've got the talent. That Manchester game, I think, will, like you guys said, will be if we lose in Manchester, I think it'll be a rough night against Sheffield. Whereas if we beat Manchester, you get that positivity, that boost. We can definitely hang with them, and I think we can definitely beat them. And God, we do not need another season getting smacked around by Sheffield. We broke the curse. We broke the curse last season in the Moat Point. Now we need to, keep on top of them. And then I think that game as well, if we beat Sheffield after beating Manchester, we go, oh, thank God we got a win. And then we prove ourselves. I think we need the win against Manchester, and then we prove ourselves against Sheffield.
Yeah. Next leads on to the next opponent. Predictions. I'm gonna write these down. I want us to, so I've got the idea that we're gonna do predictions for every weekend. We're gonna tally up the points, kind of like our FPL, that Fantasy Player League. So predictions for Storm. Christoph, what do you reckon?
I'm going with a 3-1 to us. I think our defence is going to answer. We're going to have a good defensive battle in there. I think we can match their physicality. Ulet can sometimes, with his physicality, be a bit of a liability. So we'll see how that goes. But I don't think we get pushed around. I think we, with the physicality, I think we are guilty of matching and then kind of perhaps falling into the trap of playing their game. So we just got to play our game. And it's tough to do in that rink, but we've done it already. Let's do it again.
Yeah. And then
Steelers game, I'm going for overtime. Yeah. And I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to say 4-3 us.
Okay, yeah. David, Manchester Storm.
I agree. I think we come out and we respond. I think this week's going to be a lot of guys looking into themselves and going, pre-season, and when all the kind of guys came in, they were all saying they were joining a winning culture and a winning team. Now they've got to prove it, and I think this is the week. This is the game we prove it. And yeah, I'm going to say 4-1. I'm going to say 4-1.
Okay, 4-1. Yeah.
And then Sheffield.
The Steelers?
You got Christoph read my mind there, because I was thinking 4-3 overtime as well.
I think we all might have a similar thought on the Steeler game.
It will be close. It will be incredibly close. Whether it's 4-3, whether it's 3-2, whether it's 2-1, however it goes, I think it will be incredibly close.
I'm also gonna say, I also think it's OT. It's going into overtime. But Zach, what do you reckon for the Storm game?
I think we'll win 4-2, but I think the first goal in that game is massive, because whenever you go to Storm, the first goal is always a really important goal there, because like the ring's so small, the veterans just change like that there. So I think we'll get the win. But I think 4-2. I think we'll be 3-2, and then we'll get empty net towards the end to secure it.
And then Steelers.
Again, I think it's gonna be a close game. But I think we'll win 3-2 in regulation time.
Okay.
I think we'll just hang off at the end just to make a difference to everyone else.
Well, yeah, true. Okay, so I think for Storm, I think it's going to be 3-2 to us. I think the boys are going to come back with a reaction to the last weekend, but I do still think it's going to be on their mind a bit, and it is an away game, so I think it is going to be a somewhat tight game. But I do think we're going to win. I think we're going to probably go up 2. They'll get 1, and then we'll get another goal, and then they'll just get 1 in. Just by the luck, they'll just get another 1 in. That's how I think.
That would be our bad luck. They get a
squeaky goal. 1 more in, but we still win 3-2. And whoever I get for a fantasy league, he's going to score all 3 goals. He's getting hay. Even if it's Tetler.
Absolutely.
He scored that good goal last season.
Yeah,
maybe he's got that goal scorer's touch now. We never know.
Yeah. And then for the Steelers, I think again it is home. I've been at home with the Steeler for a Steeler game many times, and similar to what Zach said, the first goal for this game will set the whole game off. Whoever scores that first goal, I think, will then just take the momentum with it. It'll just continue. I'm gonna say it'll be 4-3, but not overtime to us. But it won't be an overtime. I don't know when we'll get that final goal. I'm hoping in the thirds near the end, where they can't then capitalise on, because the Steelers, they are very good at countering. But when we ever score, they are quick to the back to our goal. Shooting, they might not get it in, but they go back to our goal quite quickly. So that's something that I'm hoping that we've kind of learned. Well, saying that was the previous team, but I'm hoping that's something we keep on board going into that weekend.
I think that's a kind of a Fox thing. Fox's team, like for the last 3 years, every time someone scores against Sheffield, they're very, very quick to be back on the offensive, they don't, their heads never seem to go down with Sheffield. They're always battling, and they just seem to, you punch them and they uppercut you straight back every single time. I can't think of many games at all where you've seen the Steelers be down and out and just absolutely steamrolled. It just doesn't happen very often. So you can never count them out. I would never count out the Sheffield Steelers, even if we were up 2, 3, 4 goals towards the end of the game. Because I think, and again, just the talent level, but I think Fox as a coach as well is a good. He's a very, very good coach, very solid coach. You don't win, triples or anything like that by being a bad coach. We'll see.
So yeah, we'll see. I'll make a note of these, maybe put up some visuals to the Instagram and stuff, and then we can just keep going from there. But the next topic, player of the cast. I don't know if I told you about this one, so this may be a bit of a surprise to you all. So I know we get man of the match. It was Pearson for Sunday's game, sorry. But I want us to then name who we think could have also got man of the match, or potentially should have got man of the match. And then if you've got any people that you have to mention as like an honorary mention as well, go ahead. But who's your choice of man of the match?
Is it more like a man of the weekend kind of thing, or
yeah,
just
let's go man of the weekends. Man of the weekends. I'm going to base mine off just the Cardiff game, because I couldn't see the other one because on hockey wouldn't work. So I could only see the Cardiff game. And I've wrote 3 down. I wrote Cooper Tetz, and he's not a player, but Danny Stewart. I wrote Danny Stewart down.
yeah, I'll give him that.
And I'm not being. I'm going to say Danny. I'm going to say Danny. He fought for the team in all the calls that were made by the refs. He got very passionate, and I'm assuming I can only imagine what he would have said in the rooms to them on all the intermissions. But no, I feel like Danny. But if it was a player, I'd probably Tetz. Just from the Cardiff game, I believe it was. Yeah, it must have been Cardiff. He was just kind of switched on more, in my opinion. Granted, the D-men were also. You may have seen my notes. All it is D-men wide, D-men slow, D-men need to wake up. So it's kind of ironic that I'm picking Tetlow.
I think Tetlow managed positive plus minus over the weekend, didn't he? Or was it one of the games?
He did on Saturday. He got +1.
Yeah. He's come on in the off season. I think he's improved. I don't know whether it's related to an opposite Samson effect. I think the lack of hair seems to improve his game. I don't know what it is.
Aerodynamic.
Aerodynamic. That's it. He's got that speed on him now. But no, he's come on well over the off season. I think he's played well.
So yeah, my man of the match will be Danny. What about you, Christoph?
So I'm going immediately for Spencer. I think he stood up for the team on the ice. Instantly, the first flash on Grande on the Saturday, and he was in the guy's face doing what a D-man should when someone slashes your netty. He was consistent throughout both games, and I believe again he finished with a positive plus minus. But I do want to make a special mention for Chase, especially over the two games. Man of the match on Sunday, well deserved, but also workhorse on the Saturday. One of the few guys whose head didn't go down, and he just worked hard. And he's top line on all 3, like PK, PP, and 5-on-5. He's on that top line.
David?
I think me and Christoph share the same brain because I was furiously scratching Matt Spencer off my list. I love Matt Spencer. I loved him last year. I love him this year. I think he's just a phenomenal hockey player. I think he plays the right way, and I'll put him as my honourable mention as Matt Spencer. I think also as well. I think it says a lot when he's consistently a guy who leads the team in time on ice. I know defensemen obviously usually have more time on ice, but yeah, just a phenomenal player. Phenomenal player. For me, then I'm going to go again. Chase Pearson. I thought he was phenomenal in Guildford. I feel like we're all going for defensemen, so I want to try and pick a forward maybe. It's really difficult. This is so hard. I'm going to say I think Marcinu. He's scored well. I mean, the goals we've had. I think he's scored well. I think he's generally speaking always in the right position, always trying to be in the right position. Like there's a couple of when we're on offense, I've noticed we do a lot of drop passes and stuff like that. And I just think wherever he is on the ice, he's dangerous. Whether he's up near towards the blue line or whether he's kind of driving the net, I think he's got a great shot on him. I think he's going to be a guy. I don't think he'll score the most goals or get the most points for us, but I think he's like a proper goal scorer. Proper goal scorer, and I think he will score a lot of goals for us throughout the season. And the more he gets used to positioning of everyone where people are going to be, where people can find him. I think on the power play unit as well, whenever he's out there, we're not always getting the puck over to him, but he always seems to be in a dangerous position to score as well.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go for Marcinu. Andy was also my player in the wheel, so he won me. He won me the pre-season version of our player.
Good shout on Marcinu. His back check is something to be mentioned as well. He was always one of the Guildford. He was one of the first guys back, and he's one of the first guys forward. For probably one of our oldest pair of legs on the ice. He's really putting the effort in.
Yeah. So he knows where the net is, and you could tell in that Guildford game as well. He wants to do well. He's not here to cruise or to think. He wants to be that guy. I think he wants to be on that top line as well. I think he would love to be on that. I know the kind of the top two lines, the top six, whatever, all that stuff doesn't really matter. But I think he wants to be that guy, and it's great to have that battle. If we've got 3 or 4 players battling to be the main scorer, the main guy on the team, like it can only help. It can only be good if everyone's got that. That's why I liked when Carr came in for Grande. The same thing, like keeping people honest. If you're going to sit back, you can't sit back and relax because there's this guy behind you who's going to take your job if you won't do it. So I think it also, like, Marcinu will keep Foss honest, because if Foss wants to take a day off, well, hey, we've got this guy behind him, and then even behind him you've got Lamos and you've got these. Everyone's going to hopefully going forward keep each other honest when it comes to scoring and thinking. But I think also one of the problems is, and I know I'm going off on a tangent here, but sometimes I think we've got too many scorers, and coming up the ice, and it could be anyone. And like Pearson had a great goal scoring opportunity, but he passed it instead. And I think sometimes we're looking for the perfect goal instead of getting even more pucks on net, and maybe being selfish a little bit, which I think we're trying to be too nice to everyone. Oh, you get a shot, like let's get this. Let's get not even like thinking that way at the time, but I think sometimes people just need to be a bit more selfish with the puck and just go, screw this, I'm going to go and take a shot. I'm in a good position. I'm going to fire this, and stuff like that. I think maybe we've got too many goal scorers. Maybe I know that's a stupid thing to kind of think, but too many people could be the guy to be our number one goal scorer of the year. And maybe you end up going, oh, he's in a good position. Oh, he's in a good position. And you end up just passing the puck around instead of actually getting shots on. Even though we're putting more shots on than we did last season, which just kind of boggles your mind at how few shots we're putting on last season.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot. Our power plays were just past parcel last season. So it's nice to see a change.
Cooper with a little move at the top, a little
Yeah.
left, right, trying to shimmy his way past, and then pass. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. Zach, what about yourself? Anyone?
I'm going for Marcinu because, he was brilliant on Saturday. I thought he should be man of match Saturday because he was all over the ice and he got a really well-worked goal. But I also want to mention Spencer for the +2 on Saturday because obviously with that result, I thought it was really well he got the +2. And Chase for getting a 3-point weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, agreed.
Strong weekend for him. Okay, then. So I've got a section that we'll go to in a minute. I'm just going to kind of shuffle them around a little bit. Now it's time for the newbies' questions. So I've got a couple of questions that you're all going to answer. So I'll start off with a somewhat easy one. I think it was it was a Cardiff game. Their tender came way out of his crease. Way out of his crease. Now, is that fair game? Or do you still avoid the 10? Or would it still then be like goalie interference if he just got sacked? Because he was out of his crease. I don't know if he touched the puck or not, but he was definitely 6 foot, 7 foot away from his crease.
Unless the rules have changed recently, the way I've always understood it is if the netminder's outside of his semicircle and he's in possession of the puck, he's fair game. You don't tend to. I think it's more of a
sportsmanship
sort of honour thing. Sorry.
It's sportsmanship, isn't it?
Sportsmanship, yeah.
But it's fair game if he's not in his crease and he's not the goal. So
it'll cause chaos. That causes bench clearances. But yeah, he's if he's in his semicircle, he's got his magic immunity powers, if you will. Outside of there, he's a skater.
Okay.
I might be wrong. I'm going off old school rules.
I've just had a quick look because I thought the same. Yeah, so it's he has. So what the IIHF says is that it has to be within the crease. You have to give them ability to move freely within the crease. So as soon as he's outside the crease, I think if you trucked the goalie outside the crease, I think the other players from your team would come and try and fight you, and it would break the game down anyway.
The perfect example was, I believe, the bench clearance in Coventry years and years ago, the famous one. I think that was caused by their tough guy at the time going after Kowalski, who was out of his crease at the time. But then again, I actually think that was a break in play. So no, ignore me. He was just a hoodlum.
Okay, my next one. Face-offs. So the ref will sometimes happen in Cardiff. It happened all the time last season. When they drop the puck, it happens, and then they blow a whistle and they reset. Now, to me, what I'm thinking is they've both got to have their sticks on the floor before the puck hits the floor. Otherwise, it's a reset. Is that right?
Yeah, I think you pretty much got it there. The puck's got to make contact with the ice first before they can essentially move. If someone moves early, then they'll blow it down and reset.
Okay. And then the last one, which definitely happened in Cardiff on the Cardiff game, when the net comes off its moorings, comes off its pegs, mid-shot. I think it was mid-shot. It was mid-shot. Now, did they do the right call by allowing it? I did have a little look at the rules, but I just want... I think it was the rules. For you all to confirm. And no, I asked ChatGPT, actually. That's my go-to for everything. So, was it the right call for them to give the goal, or was it the wrong call?
Was that the one in Guildford?
It was the Guildford game.
Guildford. Got you. Yeah, no,
I think it was right.
Yeah. The puck was... sorry, the net was kicked off by Carr, whether it's deliberately or accidental. We put the net off. If we get possession, then you blow it down. If it goes a while with the net off the moorings, then they blow it down. But whilst there's still an offensive opportunity, and they're still in possession, you've got to give them a chance to get it in the net.
I believe the wording is imminent. If a goal scoring opportunity is imminent, so there is a little bit of wiggle room there,
yeah,
because of the wording of the rule. So is there an imminent? So like if the puck's behind the net and the goal that comes off, there's not really an imminent chance to score, but because the Guildford player was right out in front of the net, the puck came straight to his tape, and he put it straight in within a second or two of the goal coming off its moorings. That would be considered an kind of imminent opportunity to score.
Yeah,
I think that word imminent is
essentially it was off the rebound. You can't get much more imminent. I think it was the next play, wasn't it? I think Danny was so incensed. I believe just lip reading him on the bench. I think he believed there'd been a whistle to say that the net was off its moorings. I distinctly saw him saying, "You blew the whistle and then you called it off," and then there was a load of expletives, but I'll leave them out. But I think that's what got Danny so incensed, not the actual call of the goal, but the way the officials handled the situation.
Yeah. Was it at home? Or was it?
It was in
at Guildford. No, it was at Guildford.
Away. No, that's fine. My last one. So this I know happened in Cardiff because I wrote it down on my notes. The linesman, when we had a face-off in their end, the puck came off the linesman's leg. The linesman, I swear, actively kicked the puck, and it almost went to their goal. If that went in, does that count? Is that a goal?
No.
No, it happened in Chelsea the other year, and they ruled it out. There's like a big video about it. I was watching the other day about it actually. If it goes off the ref, and it's like not directly going in anyway. It's just blown it off and it's face off.
Okay. Wow.
The refs are basically furniture. If the puck comes off a rebound and like you have possession, you are passing it, it comes off the ref and it goes to another player, and then they score, you count that because the refs are kind of like say furniture in it. The puck, because they've got to be within the ice rink, they can't be away from it. They're kind of involved. And it's hard sometimes not to have them sometimes get caught up in the middle of plays. But yeah, if the puck comes off a ref and goes straight into the net now, that's getting blown away straight away.
I've just gone on to the next. Sorry, I've gone back to a different point now. The 10-minute misconduct call. What? I'm pretty certain our guy was turned around facing the other way while he was being throttled by the Cardiff player. No, yeah, the Guildford player, sorry.
Was it Doherty at the end of the Guildford player? Yeah, I didn't see how that play developed, but it's quite often the refs will quite often give a misconduct both ways to just try and calm things down. At that point in the game, there's no point getting aggy. We're not gonna turn it around on the score sheet. No. So there's it's just to try and calm everyone down.
It was a continuation of the fight, wasn't it? It was a continuation of the roughing and stuff, like why the ref was in the middle because they both kept punching each other. So yeah. After this went, well, both of you, there's like 2 minutes left, just both of you go because you're going to be in the box rest of the game anyway. So we might as well give you 10. Sort of, that's why I sort of is like, we're not going to get back in the ice anyway, so you might as well just go. Sort of situation.
Yeah, that's if you're given a misconduct, and there's less than 10 minutes left in the game, you'll be down the locker room for an early shower. So it's not like a game misconduct where you're kicked out for an infraction earlier on in the game.
It was.
No, it was
It was put down as a game misconduct.
Sorry, was it?
It was put down as a game misconduct on the stat sheet.
Like misconduct.
Yeah, down as a game misconduct. Actual stat sheet on the actual game sheet.
Did they give it a 10-minute?
Yeah, they give it a 10-minute game misconduct.
10-minute misconduct is just an incidental, whereas it goes down as a 25 if it's a game or a match, which is you chucked out and you're not coming back, irrelevant to what time's left.
Okay. I've only got two more kind of subjects for us to go over. The one this was I don't know if it was a joke, but I can't remember who it was, but someone, it may have even been me, said, worst ref of the week. Do we have any nominees to win this award?
There was a few iffy decisions that I wasn't about Saturday, but I don't know which ref it was.
I will always hate number 9, Swellies or Swolls, whatever.
Sewell.
Sewell. I'll always hate him. Don't know why. I mean, I do know why. Even when he does. No, in my opinion, no. I won't get into that.
Remember when he slew-footed a guy last season?
Slewell.
Yeah.
If we're going to talk about referees, I don't like to blame a lot on referees because Danny said it perfectly. You can only improve the things that you can control in a game, and you can't control what the refs are going to call or what they're not going to call. You've got to play around that. But I do think both Sewell and Perring, I believe it was, wasn't it? On the Saturday, they were played like a fiddle by Cardiff Devils. And again, fair play to Cardiff, that's their game. But I don't think Cardiff will be able to get away with that for the whole season. I think once the referees review the tapes, review the highlights, they'll realise what was going on, and they'll be a bit more critical of Cardiff plays in the future.
Mm-hmm.
I always try and be less critical of referees, because even just sitting at ice level, the game is so quick. It's so easy to, a trip, a stick, any of these little things can happen in an instant, and you're blinking and you miss it. It's a very, very difficult job. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes it's just so bad it can't possibly be. They're missing everything, but they're not going to get every call. And sometimes I think people expect referees to be 100% perfect in every call, and it's like that's just not the reality of the game that we're playing and the speed of which this game is being played. So you have to account for certain amounts of, and I think that's why they try and even out penalties, because they know that, you kind of hear it sometimes where they're going to even them out, and it's like, I understand it because they know they're going to have missed penalties on both sides. But at the same time, sometimes, like with Cardiff, there's no way we should have had more penalties than Cardiff. I almost swore really badly then. There's no way we should have had more penalties than Cardiff in that game. It's unfathomable how that happened.
The incident on the bench where they waded into our bench trying to fight everyone. I do not understand how they came out with 4 minutes, and one of them being a coincidental because they picked a random Panther to go and sit for 2.
Spencer punched him on the bench. That's why it was a penalty for Spencer.
Yeah, but approaching the bench to start that kind of that needs to be addressed.
It was all
you
game
don't do that.
Every time they went to the bench, there was grabbing our shirts off the bench and stuff. I noticed because that's it on the away bench. So every time our players skate back, they'd pull our shirts back. They stuck stick there and stuff. It's well, not really calling out here, and it was just momentum. That's why they kept fighting on the benches.
And again, I think this is something that the referee is going to pick up on the tapes when they review the games. Is they need to keep a bit more an eye of what's happening peripherally. There were a few checks. There were a few checks into the bench where we weren't. Our player was nowhere near the puck. It was a blatant interference.
Photographer's bench, didn't he? He ended up the photographer's bay, which is quite funny.
And no contact with the puck and just pushed over the boards.
Talk about checks and cross-checking and stuff. I think it was Garrett on Sunday. The ref didn't catch it. I don't know which player he did it in, but it was just in front of our goal. Just sacked him. Just cross-checked the guy in the face. Just straight up in his face. Just dropped the guy. It looked like it was like here where he hit him with a stick, and thank God it wasn't called.
I think on Sunday we actually got away with quite a bit during our fight back. They were getting a 3-on-1 break at one point, and I think we blatantly tripped.
It was blatant.
Yeah,
blatant. And they just didn't call it, and I was like, do you know what? As well, if you step back as a hockey fan, you go, yeah, they should have called that. But when we were all very good at rationalising our own players, transgressions. If another team did it to us, we'd be up in arms. But for our team, we're like, they were just, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad a cross check to the face.
You're fine. You're not knocked out.
He's all right. He didn't even lose any teeth. Get him up. It's fine.
Nothing stitches won't fix.
This is why we have paramedics here.
And my last point, I don't know if Zach has everything ready because I didn't tell him. Again, I'm keeping things from you both, all of you. Did you want us to do the fantasy player pick for this weekend on the pod, or did you want to do it later on?
I mean, I've got the wheel spin ready, so I can.
Oh,
Yeah, let's spin it. Spin that wheel. Spin that wheel.
It's just what order we're doing it in. It's all we needed to know. So.
Okay, I'm going to pick. Screw it. Right, Christoph, you're getting yours first.
Go on then.
Okay. The spin. I don't see on that. Marcinu. So that's a decent little pick.
God,
solid, absolutely solid. Pleased with that.
my preseason, but guys, been taken away from me.
Marcinu, I think, is going to be a good game for the Saturday. To be fair, he's got that work ethic. He's got that grit. Yeah.
Okay. Zach, you're next.
Okay, I'll go.
Fossey.
I got Pearson, which is a nice little draw.
Of course he did. Independent adjudicators.
Rigged.
Independent.
So we'll take that one.
Right. David can go next.
Okay. Lemos.
Oh, I'll take it. I'll take Lemos.
We've all been solid so far, I think.
They've been solid. I say no one's had a dud yet. I mean, there's not that many duds, but we all know that the dud we don't want.
So now we'll go for.
That's me.
Yeah. Harris.
Again, come on.
All right. This is going to be a close one. This could be a close one.
I mean,
Lemos goes back onto that line with him.
-4, I'm all right.
Finished on 0. Harris done me just nothing.
Should I go through the point system as well, or just so everyone knows?
Yeah, go through the points, yeah.
So if your player scores, you get 3 points. An assist gives you 2. If you're on the ice for a Panthers goal, you get 1 point. So that's like a plus minus. So if you get like higher plus minus, you get a point. If you get a negative plus minus, you lose a point per goal. Man of the match is 1 and takes a penalty is -1, and a penalty free is just 1. So obviously, if you go like penalty free, you just automatically get a point. So I thought it's just a little simple system.
Cool.
I like it.
Who's in the lead at the moment from last week?
Well, Marcinu got 4 points, so whoever had Marcinu's in the lead.
Of course he did.
But obviously, it was a pre-season game anyway. We counted it as. So
yeah, these points don't count. It's next week.
I won the Aladdin Cup. I won the Aladdin Cup of the pre-season player.
But yeah, that's everything I've wrote down. I don't know if you guys want to bring up anything specific. We've got stuff planned for the future, so we're going to start potentially picking a guy randomly from the team, and we're all going to do a bit of research on him. We're all going to come up with why he's there, his history, and all that kind of stuff as well. We're going to hopefully go through what we will, because there's not that many people in the team. We'll definitely go through the entire team throughout the season. We potentially might be looking at other games as well, see how the other teams are doing. Not going as deep as obviously with the Panthers, but just involving them as well, because you've got to know what's going on in the league to really get behind hockey. You need to know more than just what your team is doing. And maybe even this is going over some chants, just new rules or rules that people don't understand, because like me, I'm a newbie, and there's a lot of newbies joining and getting into hockey. More and more people are getting into hockey, but I think because it's so niche and the long-standing fans have been there for so long, and they kind of just, I don't know if all, I'm not going to generalize them, but quite a lot of fans will just assume you should just know the rules. You should just know what's happening. So I think it's quite hard for new fans to stick with it, which is why I created the Discords, which there will be a link in the description or whatever. And I think, I don't know, just the Discord, where new people can kind of go and learn, find that connection. Maybe from our history sessions that we do, our little history lessons, they might find it. They might find someone they connect with who's on the team, and they go, "Yep, I'm gonna get attached to that guy," and then they'll realise that you shouldn't get attached. Just how I did last season. Don't get attached. But I think that's all we've kind of come up with at the moment. I'm sure there'll be plenty more in the future that we come up with. I mean, it's the first episode. There's 4 of us here. We can think of a lot of things to do. But no, if anyone has anyone else got anything at all to say? If not, I'll wrap it up here.
Last thing is just do better. Do better. That's it. Hopefully we do better. That's it. That's all from me.
Just to add on what you're saying, if anyone listening's got any questions, if you're new to the sport and you've seen something you don't quite understand, you can, if you want to leave a comment, and we'll research it and give you a good answer.
Yeah. There's also if you do end up joining the Discord, there is also questions which you could ask us. It can be about hockey. I mean, might as well go as far as saying it could just be about us. I mean, if you're going to want to know who we are. And there is also a support page for new people who have got questions for away games, what the travel's like, where to stay. It's a community that's growing very quickly, and we're all here to help. So, yeah, that's it. Right, well, thanks for tuning in, guys. See you all later.
Cheers. See you all anon.
Right, guys. Have a good evening. Have a good morning, wherever you are. Good night, and go Panthers.